Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. So I'm here. I was intending to do this yesterday, and by this I mean mowing my grass and getting some stuff into the fermenting silo, because I'm running quite low. I'm at 100,000 or maybe even less in there. I had to fill everything this morning, I should say, with the BGA, and then the straw was almost empty. So the cows are full again after the little hiccup days ago. So they are now consuming a little bit less as we go along. So we're back into the swing of things. Straw was down to about 11,000. Again, I've been doing some stuff just because it's dark, but at this point, like, my window is now. And if I do what I did yesterday, which was, oh yeah, I need to do this. I got in, it was dark. I'm like, I don't want to record another dark episode for you guys. But then I didn't get back in, and here we are a day later. And so I'm just worried I'm going to keep doing that. I think I just unfortunately kind of need to do it when I need to do it, and I can kind of provide what I can provide, you know, when I'm able to do that. Let's see. It's like trying to figure out where. There we go. Alright, so 22,000 from one load. I don't know if it gets done in a year, but basically part of what I'm trying to figure out is the permit to run the production is 5,000 a year. It might be 4,500 for a renewal, but I just remember 5,000. And if I don't get that much in a year, but again, I guess that's 3 pallets of cheese, which I should get in a year. Because I'm like, otherwise I'm like losing money, so it's almost stupid to have the dairy. I'm not a huge fan of loading this thing with the forklift. It probably took me 10-15 minutes, so it's not too bad to load 11 pallets. A little bit over a minute a pallet, but and it's not something I do that often, so I guess I need to put it in perspective. Alright, so I've got that dropped off there, because I'm trying to stay out of the way as I go ahead and mow. I'm going to use this equipment to do that work. Because, yeah, the other thing, I'm running tight on time lately, so I'm kind of dreading work at times of like, what do I need to do? And I'm worried I gotta be coming up on having to sample this field. Ooh, and I'm actually, well, but I wonder, I don't know that I need to sample it because I'm not fertilizing it. So let me take a look. Yeesh. Goodness, I mean, it's a choice I'm making to not do that. But then on top of it, yeah, it shrinks my environmental score down, which again isn't the end of the world. Yeah, I'm really gonna have to decide here what I want to do, because I could certainly get the yield up. I mean, at this point I have kind of what I have, so it's not gonna matter for today. I'm trying to figure out where I went. Oh, not this high. I think I see the line down below on the mini-map. It's a little more challenging here with the snow, seeing the edge of the field. But it's going to snow all day, and once again I've kind of got the situation of I just need to kind of get going. Alright. So This is way too far up. Oh, and if it's not, I can always fix it later, I suppose. So, we're gonna start... Do I not have stuff connected? I thought I did everything. Oh, I didn't get the PTO. So, oops. And then here I need to unfold, and that should work. Interesting. I'm assuming it's working. This could be really bad if it's not. Like, how do I know if it is or not? Huh. I mean, it's cutting. It's throwing stuff in there. I guess I'm gonna have to check. I've never done this in the snow. I've certainly done it in the winter. So that is the confusing part here. Like, it's not like I've not done this. So let's see. Let me turn this off. Because what I don't want to do, I've determined, I certainly don't want to cut when I am turning around, because that was a mess the other day. I mean, because it's theoretically what it's doing is it's stacking this up under the snow, but you know what, I just better hold off for a second here. So this may end up being just a problem in and of itself. Alright, so let's grab this and see if there's anything to pick up. I can at least see where my tracks are, because that's going to be the other problem. Like, I literally can't tell where I have crop if I have it. So I'm just thinking this might be a disaster. Yeah, there's nothing here. I'm gonna get that little bit there, maybe? No, I didn't even get that. Alright, well. So, I can't do anything. So, I did not know. I mean, it's telling me it's harvested, but wow. Goodness gracious. Alright, well this yield is better, but I'm wondering, am I in a part of the field? No, I'm in a dark part. Alright. Because, yeah, 93 isn't terrible, but I suppose it's the same as 77 out of 100. It's just I was close to the edge. Alright, I'm going to turn the lights off. And what I can do is maybe come back if the snow is gone, but I'm thinking... Can I not? Let me look at the calendar. No, harvest season is every time of year. It's just not going to grow these 3 months. I mean, that I knew, but I can't plant. There's nothing that says I can't harvest, but clearly there's something going on when you have snow on the ground. That it doesn't actually drop anything, probably because the field mask can't deal with it and replace the snow. Because, yeah, what I'm used to is, like, if you harvest and there's snow, it will remove the snow off the field. I should say if you plow. And that's, I think, the thing, because we're not changing the state of the actual ground. Somehow that's doing something, but yeah, I mean, I wasted probably 50,000 liters here that I'm not going to get back, so I'm glad I didn't do more than that and just say, yeah, it'll be there, it's just invisible, because I should know better. After all, it's Farming Simulator. So I'm going to leave this here, and at this point, I haven't really shared much, so I'm just gonna say I'll see you next time. Alright, so I'm popping in here again. I'm on the field, clearly in the part that should be ready to go. And you can see the growth stage is in the forage location. So I still need to wait on this thing. I don't understand what's happening. Maybe because I'm not cutting it normally, but normally it shouldn't be a forage state. It should be just ready to harvest, and that should be it. So I'm going to let this go into the spring a bit, which unfortunately probably means I'll be doing something else other than grass. But at this point, I'm just getting the barn to the point that it will be in good shape. Alright, silage is 168,000, so I should be good for a while. And you can see we're at, you know, the 176,500, so we are operating as we would want, fully loaded up and so forth. But I'm going to take another step away, as I'm just having a bit of a challenge here on the farm. So I will see you in a bit. Alright, so as sometimes happens when I'm out of practice, I thought I was recording and I was not. But I am finally back here in April. We finally got to the point, so I do have to stop and hop out. We're ready to harvest. Yesterday it was at 3 of 3 for some reason, even though I know we had harvested days and days before, but it must have been just enough that we got to winter, the grass went dormant, and then we waited. So I had started, but the really strange thing is there's piles of grass where I had left the thing over there before. I don't know that we're going to be able to see from this far over, but we'll see as we get a little closer. But it looks like whatever I had harvested, it just left these two giant piles, and I'm not quite sure why, but it did. Suppose I could just kind of drive down there and drive back. So we'll do that to show you, even though that's not normally what I would do, but I gotta stay away from the grass because I don't want to cut any more. But there you can see the first and then the back. So basically those were piled over the mower, and that's what was deposited there. So the best I can think is that it went ahead. I don't think I'm going to get enough of room here. I just really don't want to hit any grass early. So, but the best I can think is maybe it saved all or most of it, and so maybe we didn't lose all the grass. But at this point you can see it's not cutting where I'm at. It's going to drop a little bit more there, but that's close enough that we should be okay. And so it's not cutting that because it's growth stage 2 of 3, and that's not cuttable. So I am going ahead and hoping that I'm going to get far more than 1 million acres off of this now that I've got a full harvest, because the other challenge I'm running into is I'm going to need hay soon too. So I should at this point, with what I've learned from generational farming, be able to jump into grass work again in July if I want. I don't know that I'll want to do it that early, but I probably want to do it early enough that like it's ready to go before the winter, in case I run into some other problem that I don't have the same issue I did now, where it goes dormant over the winter and I'm locked into unusable grass over the winter time, where at least if it matures I can cut it at any point where I feel I need it. But the hay is getting dangerously low. The silage has gotten to below 70,000. So the BGA has been empty for a while. The cow barn is running. I think I'm okay. If not, you know, my intent is to get this done enough that if at a minimum I'm putting grass into the silo and I can take some of it out, and the fermenting silo should be able to stay ahead of things. So I'm going to keep doing this work. I don't want to make the episode too terribly long, but I know folks might have been like, hey, what happened? because I think I may have missed a few. Oh, here comes the rain, but again, it doesn't matter with grass. But I'm going to keep getting this done, get things picked up, and I'll see you in a bit. Alright, I am back. It did not take everything I had here right now, so I've got the silo full at 925,000, and I've got about 2 more to go. So I'm going to get about 1 million out of here, which is kind of what I was hoping for. I may have lost a little bit in the rain. There was one row next to me that appeared to be shrinking as I was going through. The rain just stopped recently, and I had been basically just getting across the field, or maybe a tiny bit more once in a while, but across, and then it was full, but I was about 5,000 short in the row that was the one that looked like it was thin. So it's possible I lost a little bit in the rain, but if it's like 5,000 row, there's only like 3 rows left. I don't know that I saw that happening before, but obviously that's something to keep in mind. Maybe, you know, if I could avoid doing it in the rain, perhaps that would help. But either way, you know, grass grows fast enough that we can do stuff. So I just wanted to get in here because by the time I'm able to get in here and finish later today, it's going to be dark on the server, or getting close to dark. But I'm going to try to get in here and pick up the last 100,000 or so. I'm just not even sure that I'll be able to get it to fit. But at a minimum, if I can, you know, get 50,000 out of the silo in the time before I get back on in 4 or 5 hours, then that might let me to have enough space to have it in the forage wagon or something, and at least have it off the field. Not that it has to be gone, but if rain has some impact on it, that would certainly help. But I wanted to get this video done during the daylight. At this point, I'm definitely going to close out the episode and say, hey, we've got about 1 million liters, and that's where we're at. But thanks for going along for, what, 4 or 5 months, maybe even 6 months on this journey that comprised this episode. Alright, back here the following morning. So, had a little bit of a mishap collecting things. Was a little tired, fell asleep, and ran into the truck with the tractor. So, just trying to right things up at the end here. Oh boy. Well, this is going to make life interesting. I was hoping that would rotate over, but not sure that it's going to do so. Come on, there we go. Yeah, I just wanted to be all set so that when we were ready to go, we would be good. So I got 1,038,125 liters of grass off the field. So again, did seem to lose a little bit in those last few rows, but that's where we're at. I'm also now at the point where if I want to plant something this year, I need to get at it. I'm going to see if I can do that. Otherwise, we may unfortunately have a year where we don't have a crop on the field just because of how timing worked out with the availability to get back on and do things. But we'll deal with that next time. So I'll see you then.